Please welcome Ashley Perry.
Hello. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining me. Like you said, Ashley Perry. I work at Govini and lead our national security practice. It's wonderful to see you all today. So I'm here today to talk about the obvious things. Who is Govini? What is the ARC, our flagship platform? But just as important, I also want to talk about what makes our work so exciting, that we are so energized by it, and that is the culture that we've built and the people behind it. And so, getting to the first bit of this, right? Who is Govini? So Govini is a software company that is revolutionizing US government acquisition with our platform, ARC. And so ARC moves the daily operations of acquisition from really manual, error-prone spreadsheets into AI-enabled applications that give our customers across the US government space visibility into the entirety of the American industrial base. The acquisition community is leveraging ARC today to field new capabilities, to accelerate production, strengthen sustainment, and really get out there and see what there is down into these supply chains to make sure that we can be ready at the pace of the evolving markets in the globe. And so this is a small cross-section of the missions that we support today, but we work with all of the branches of the military, various defense agencies, as well as the federal civilian market and the intelligence community. All right, so we got the first one out of the way. Who is Govini, right? And now second, what is the ARC? And so the current approach to acquisition in the US government space was developed decades ago. It doesn't keep pace anymore with who the world is and who we are. It doesn't account for today's increased demand, the complexity, the urgency at which we need to move. And so in this new era, new technologies are constantly emerging. Lead times are unpredictable, capacity is hard to scale and ramp, and so this puts us at a disadvantage. We looked up at the world and said, what is the answer? And it is AI-enabled technology. And so this is why we built the ARC. And so pulling up the hood now, how does it actually work? So the first thing here at the bottom is data integration. And so when we work with a lot of our US government customers, they have a lot of this robust information, right? Nobody knows more about this weapons portfolio and the programs that we field than the US government. All the contracts information, the type of stock they have on hand, forward pricing agreements, how this whole ecosystem comes together. The thing that they don't have, right, is the commercial perspective to augment that, to really understand what the opportunities are in the market to help them affect change. And so underpinning Govini's ARC is that commercial data asset that comes with our platform. We will take that data and integrate it and put it through our AI/ML-enabled technology, which we call Object Fusion. And so, a lot of software platforms can take a data insight, put it on the front end of a platform for you. Object Fusion is fundamentally doing a lot more than that. We are correlating, we are linking, we are enriching all of these disparate pieces of information where you're not actually sure, is this the program we're looking for? Does this piece of information actually match another one? We're doing that for you in a high confidence way, and that builds the data layer, which we call our National Security Knowledge Graph, the NSKG. So the National Security Knowledge Graph now has all of that normalized information, and it has incredible breadth and depth of information that allows analysts to finally get in there, look apples to apples and say, what am I working with to do all of the demand planning, to do the supply chain illumination that they need to understand where money is moving in terms of venture capital, private equity, what are the patent trends underneath it. It is not as simple as getting widget A to whatever the ship is that needs to get out of the dock. There's so much more going on underneath the hood, and that is the purpose of the National Security Knowledge Graph. Additionally, ARC comes with 5 standard applications, because obviously at some point, right, we have to make this thing navigable if it has that much breadth and depth. And so those 5 applications you'll see here, the first one is supply chain. And that one is pretty self-explanatory, and I really think is the underpinning across a lot of what the acquisitions community is doing. The other 3 are pretty self-explanatory in terms of production, sustainment, modernization of weapons programs and systems. And the last one here is science and technology, which is my favorite. But Govini is also helping agencies, when you think about the Office of Strategic Capital, the OSCs of the world, who are looking at critical technology areas, emerging technology, This stuff is hard. Now you're looking for companies who are pretty new out in the industry. You're trying to qualify, are they real? You're trying to understand where what little funding they have, and there's no paper trail, has come from, to really illuminate, one, do they have the capability? And then two, is there an opportunity here for the US to invest, to cultivate this particular organization, this technology area for the US and our allies, ahead of our adversaries? So leveraging AI, leveraging the NSKG, that is what science and technology is doing for the market. The last thing here, your team arc out here at the top, this is really now talking about our engagement model. But we are not a company that is going to deliver you our product, give you a standard workflow guide, and work away. I think one of the things that differentiates us is our what am I looking for here? We want to embed with you. We want to be down in your offices, your spaces with you, because that is how you get to these richer outcomes. If this was an easy problem, we could drop the license and run away. But we want to really intimately understand, what does the rest of your ecosystem look like? What are the rest of the tools you have? You have a whole set of problems, but what are the most important ones? And that is how we determine how ARC best augments your ecosystem to get speed to value and those high value outcomes from the outset. All right, and so everyone's favorite here, some proof points. The customers that we've been working with, what are some of the gains that they have actually realized? And so out in the intelligence community, to the science and technology piece, we're working with a number of those agencies to do market analysis for emerging technology companies, helping them vet them, reduce the analytical time to make a decision about where they want to invest. The second here is a federal healthcare agency that we partner closely with, and so now we're looking at things like due diligence, again, so that capital flow, the foreign influence, compliance issues. Those due diligence exercises, as we all know, vary greatly between analysts. They are Googling, they are looking things up in the wide internet and just hoping that some of it comes together. So we're doing that for them with higher confidence. Our platform also has the ability to take government templates in it through our custom report generator that enables a one-click functionality to map all of that information you discovered and all the analysis you built and put it in that government reporting template to make sure that you are moving faster and also meeting important government security and reporting standards. The Defense Logistics Agency as well, this is one of my favorite, but they are leveraging ARC today to monitor over 7 million parts in the industrial base. We are also helping them, leveraging AI, identify technically similar parts. So we are looking at everything down to the thread size, the diameter of whatever it is that they're trying to procure, and comparing it, giving them those alternate vendors, and they have the ability to see, is this vendor already set up with the US government? What type of contracts have we issued to them to know that they're real and have confidence in broadening that supplier base? So wonderful. All right, that takes care of the first two. We're going to switch here now to a little bit of our culture and our people. And so at Govini, we are really looking, as you'll see here, our Pittsburgh office has a lot of our technical expertise. Those types of positions for our software developers, our data teams, our AI and ML teams, and our product design teams are out in Pittsburgh. They are embedded in AI Alley, which is a hotspot for growing startup technology companies in that area. Our other office is here, very close to home in Roslyn, in Arlington, Virginia. This is where our go-to-market team lives, which is probably no surprise to you, but a wide variety of different positions that are critical to making all of this work. The thing to take away here is that we are really interested in finding deep technical experts on that side, and also marrying it seamlessly with people who have the deep domain expertise for the US government to bring all of these things together. So I'll leave this here. This is a lot of words, right? What does it actually mean? And so I'm going to tell you a little bit of a personal anecdote, but prior to Govini, I spent 11 years at a startup technology company. I was with them through IPO, past IPO, and it was a wonderful experience. I got to the point, though, where I was looking for something smaller again. They had gotten big, and that's not a bad thing. That's just a result of success. But I wanted somewhere that was smaller again, that was scrappy, where the decisions we were making, you could really draw short, straight lines between this is what I'm doing at my desk and the impact I'm having out in the world. We look for people who share that ethos in terms of just wanting to move quickly, who are bothered by the stagnation or difficult problems of people saying they're hard. We are looking for individuals who don't take no for an answer. Those are people who look at it simply as an opportunity to get creative, to rethink where are we going next and break those problems down into smaller pieces, something we can make progress against, to continue learning more about the ecosystem that we are working in. So that is certainly one thing I think that comes to this. And the other, when I came out of that company looking for something different, I wanted to find a company that had great product market fit. It's important because, I didn't want to go somewhere, being very frank, that was, making business decisions about keeping the lights on. I wanted to be somewhere where we were making strategic decisions about the product roadmap, about how we were implementing it out in the government space to ensure that tight alignment. I think there are a lot of offerings out there, but those types of qualities are what you see, again, behind the scenes that produce these types of results and outcomes and flexibility out in the market. And so, what does it actually mean to be a Govinian, as we call ourselves? Once you get here, we really care about your growth and development. And so the first one here, there are 4 pillars. The first one is self-explanatory. We've talked a lot about it. Our mission. We want people who are mission focused, who care a lot about national security and are driven by that. Secondarily, the culture, to what I just talked about. Passionate, hardworking people who are really just looking to not do things the way that they have always been done, but flip it on its head and get out there in the field to see what we learned and take those back and keep on moving. The other 2 here on the right are more, I think, about personal satisfaction here at Govini. But the company also recognizes, one, that the best theater to learn in is out in the market, right? Again, embedded with our customers, and that's why we're sitting with you day to day. But we also provide for strategic learning and development at home. Everything from professional coaching to technical training. We have implementation engineers who came in not learning how to code. They are now, SQL experts learning R. It's very exciting to see people, again, to the ethos of those that we hire, who came in with no technical expertise and are excited to learn it. We have engineers who are out there in the market now, taking important business meetings and able to handle those. It's an exciting place where there's a lot of that opportunity. And last, we do have an incredibly competitive benefits package, that includes 401k, matching, unlimited PTO, all of those things that I think we know, love, and expect these days. So, in summary here, why Govini? So again, people first. This is a thing that we care a ton about. Good, happy people. When you're working against hard problems like this, you want to work with a team that, very frankly, you like, that you're excited to hang out with for that many hours a day if it's not a standard 9 to 5. We want everyone to really share in that success of our mission and feel like they've had, again, short, straight lines and a direct impact on what we're doing out in the market. Critical missions, when you work for a company like this, we are doing everything from, operational military exercises to all of that due diligence and planning, back at home with all of the different material planners. And the last one here is the culture of excellence. And so, this one is probably no surprise to you, but we really value, people for the skills that they bring through the door, for their willingness to experiment and try new things. This is really the Govini ethos here in a slide. So, yeah, if you are passionate about technology, if you are eager to help national security customers, if you are mission-driven, we would love to get introduced and talk to you. We are here in the careers pen today. So the giant orange sign over there, please come by, have a conversation. We would love to meet you and talk to you about our mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We still have a few moments for questions if you have any questions for Ms. Perry.
Yes. Hi.
For the data that you're gathering, is that data lakes or data warehouses?
Yeah, so the question was, for the data that we receive, are we consolidating them in data lakes and data warehouses? I will tell you this, that I am not on our data team, so I'm probably not the best person to answer this for you. But yes, the National Security Knowledge Graph and the data that underpins it is all, it's housed in AWS GovCloud, that's where we're deployed. And so we do have a data lake that we bring together and then do that object fusion process on top of it to do all of the correlation and enrichment to put it into the front end of the platform. Yeah, thank you.